Hey everybody, it's Kate Beaters. Got a surprise Facebook live stream training for you, something cool I want to teach you. When you join me, please say hi. Let me know who's here. Let me know where you're from. I'm trying to grab everybody before you get on with your Saturday evening plans. I've got something very cool to teach you and actually very appropriate for this time of year. And I want to just double check, make sure this is showing up, and let me know too that you can hear me, which is always a really, really good thing. So let's see, I just want to make sure this is showing up. And please say hi, let me know who's here. My name is Kate Beaters. I am founder of Brilliance Builders, and I'm your breakthrough expert. And so today that's part of the topic that we're talking about, and I'm really excited to share it with you. So when you pop in, please say hi, do a like, do a heart, do something, ask questions. Let's make this training really, really cool for you and really appropriate. And I just want to make sure this is going. Let's see. Hope everybody's having a very nice weekend. I've been out running around, and my girl this morning she had acupuncture. I'd show you her, but she's kind of like relaxing and chilling. Let's see, is this all showing up correctly? Let's just see. Want to make sure this is showing up right for everybody. Let's see, I'm just taking a look at my phone to see how this is showing up. There we go, that looks clear. Okay, good. Just want to make sure. For some reason, it was looking a little funky. So everybody say hi, let me know who's here. I wanted to share this quick training with you because I think it's pretty cool, pretty important, and I want to make sure you get it. So let's see, let me just get all the settings right. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, and if you're there, say hi. Let me know you can hear me. Let me know you can see, and I'm going to keep checking my phone. I'm looking over here just to make sure it's showing up correctly. So hope everyone's having a very nice weekend. Normally, I don't usually do a live training this time of day, but you know what? I just figured there's no time like the present. Do it while it's top of mind. Share it with you guys, and then hopefully it'll impact, shake you, give you a piece of information that you need now to help you move forward, and that's what I want to do for you. And if you're new listening to me, this is your first time, I am Kate Beaters. I am founder of Brilliance Builders, and I'm also your breakthrough expert. And my superpowers are that I actually came from a background of business development, so I know all about the whole strategies behind getting clients and sales conversations and magic price points and overcoming objections and all the marketing stuff you got to do with it, as well as I'm an expert in mindset. And I find when I pull the two together, my clients end up really skyrocketing. And so that's what I want for you too. So I want to share with you today 3 keys that are really, really critical if you want to break through. And so if you're listening, if you want to go ahead and even just share what's an area you're thinking you want to break through this, this upcoming year in 2018. It's not that far away. It's just a couple of weeks away, right? So if you want to share, that would be great. If not, just let me know who's here, where you're from. And I want to share 3 things that you got to have in place if you want to break through. Because whenever I see people who don't have it, they stumble and fall. I'll give you a really great example of the wrong way to do it. I had someone on my team a while ago, and she had these visions of grandeur, as they say. She was going to do this thing, and she was going to have a team, and all sorts of stuff. She was going to be off doing this thing and doing that thing. Problem was is that she didn't have her business put together enough, and so she was basically dropping the ball on even the most fundamental things. And so no matter how big her dreams were, if she couldn't take care of that stuff, her dreams would not happen. And here it is, that happened a couple of years ago, and I've kind of she's still kind of in touch with me, and she's still not where she wants to be because she didn't have the other stuff in place. So that's what I want to share with you, because I know when you do have it in place, it can make a really huge difference. To just even show you the other way of doing it, one of my clients who had a business, about a decade old, she decided she wanted to take on some new industries. Well, she was able to do it because she had these things in place, and she's actually doing it quite successfully. I'm not saying it's always easy, but she's doing it successfully, okay? And another one of my clients is just put out a notification that she's taking on a new location. Again, she's able to do this because she's got some of these other things in place. So that's what I want to share with you, everybody, on this live training. So again, if you're just joining, say hi, let me know who's here, and I'm just gonna look at my notes and make sure I'm sharing everything with you. So anyways, there's 3 things you've got to have in place. And the first thing I want to share with you have to have in place is your foundation. And the foundation is super, super critical. And I find this is where so many entrepreneurs go wrong, because they sit there and say like, oh, this looks cool, that looks cool, that looks cool. And I'll give you a really great example. You know, it's all that bright, shiny object stuff. Let's say talk about writing a book. Now, I actually just started writing a new book. Now, I will tell you this, having written a book before, that writing a book is very, very time consuming. I'm just going to tell you quite honestly, it's very, very time consuming. And so if I didn't have things in place, if I didn't have a way of generating consistent income, if I didn't have a way of bringing in clients on a regular basis, if I didn't have my networking system set up, if I didn't have my follow through set up, if I didn't have all these other things set up, that if I went to work on a book, the rest of my business would collapse because the foundation is not in place. So does that make sense? If you're, for those of you listening, does that make sense? That if you go on and take on something new, I'm not saying don't write a book or do different things or do a launch or do whatever. I'm just saying make sure you got everything in place before you go take it on. Because whenever you do bring on something new, because it is new, to do it well, it's going to take a lot of your time. So it's going to take your time, your energy, your money, all your resources to make it work. So if you take your eye off the ball and you stop doing things like whether it's, podcasts or writing blogs or getting out networking or follow up or sponsorships or whatever the heck it is that you're doing as part of your regular business, if you stop doing it because all of a sudden you're looking over there, well, you're going to see things collapse, and then you're going to all of a sudden be crying saying, geez, how come I don't have any money coming in? So I want to share with you. So number 1 is make sure you got a strong foundation in place. Okay. There's a house I always walk by when the weather's nicer and I go for walks, and it's just this basic ranch. And then all of a sudden one day I see they're doing work on it, and the plans were they wanted to make it here. So a ranch is, it's one level. They wanted to make it 3 levels as well as bigger. And I happened to one day when I was walking by start talking to the contractor, and he was explaining, yeah, before we do anything, we've got to strengthen the foundation, because if we go add these extra couple of floors, they're going to come sinking and crashing in on this ground floor. That's not what we want to have happen. And that's not what you want to have happen in your business either. And so now when I walk by, the house is done now. It's, it's been whatever it is, 6-8 months. The house is done. The house is like 3 times the size at least. It's taller, it's larger, all that kind of stuff. Doesn't look anything like the previous house. But if they had not taken the time to make sure the foundation was in place and to strengthen the foundation, the business would have collapsed. So my question is, first of all, how many of you are even making sure your foundation is in place in your business? All right, so I just want to ask that if anyone wants to answer. Hey, Stephanie, how are you? Hey, Stephanie, I know you're somewhere warm, so send us some warm weather to Boston. We'd love it. So again, number 1, make sure you got a strong foundation, right? I know it's not sexy. I know it's not like, these Facebook ads where they show the girls in the high heels or the high boots or the guy with a really fancy car behind him. This is not fancy crap, but it's necessary stuff. You've got to have it. It's not fancy, it's not sexy, but I'll tell you something, bringing in solid, really good income every month and having a profitable business is sexier than any pair of shoes you can buy. Okay, everyone agree? Can I get a like? Because it is so powerful, okay? So that's number 1. So let me share number 2. Number 2 is, whatever your breakthrough is, the area that you want to take on, whether it's doing a launch, whether it's a live event, whether it's a book, whether it's a new location, whether it's whatever, to partnering up with somebody, it doesn't matter what it is. I'm going to ask you to please go back and double check and make sure it is aligned with your vision. Okay, because again, we get caught up as entrepreneurs. You got to admit there's 10 zillion things out there we all can be doing. And the problem is that if you're not doing things that are aligned with your vision, it's easy to get sidetracked. right? And which means, again, back to that, spending your resources, your time, your energy, your money, all your other resources on an area that's not necessarily the right thing. So if you use the example of the book, and this is nothing against writing a book, I think writing books are great. I'm just using that because that's something I'm working on right now. For example, if I had done this at other times in my business, it would not have been the right time because there was other things that were more important to me. So if you are going to be doing an event or writing a book or doing a launch or whatever the heck you're doing, redoing your website, it doesn't really matter. You've got to make sure that it is aligned with your core vision, and it's really the next thing that you should be doing. Because using the book as an example, maybe writing a book is the best thing you can be doing, but maybe it's something you need to do in 6 months and not today. Okay? So second thing is, again, make sure this new action that you want to take on, this new project, this new venture, this new event, whatever it is, make sure it is closely aligned with your event. Otherwise, you'll come calling me crying because you're disappointed, you're frustrated, you're scared, all sorts of things because you're not having the success you want, and that's because you got sidetracked, right? You know, they always say that the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line, okay? You probably have heard that before. So doesn't it make sense that the action you take on should be along that straight line that you're moving to? Okay? So again, if you're liking this stuff, please do like, please share this, please do hearts. I'm going to periodically keep check to see if, yeah, absolutely. A profitable business is really sexy. You guys don't get that. It feels really, really good to have money in the bank. It feels really sexy to have money in the bank. It feels really sexy to sleep throughout the night and not worry about money. Does that make sense to everybody? Right? It's this really, really, really powerful stuff I'm teaching you. Okay? Again, I don't have the fancy car behind me, but what I am teaching you is stuff that every strong business owner needs to know. You need to know that. Okay. So let me take another sip here. And feel free, if anybody has a question or they want to share what they're thinking that they want to take on in 2018, feel free to post because I am putting my glasses on periodically to read what it is. So the third is, you know that I focus in on marketing and, the actions. I also focus in on mindset. So the third one is a mindset thing. Really, really, really critical. You got to have your mindset. You got to have your self-image in the right place of that place you want to go. So for example, if you're setting up excuse me, if you're setting up some actions to help you get to that next level, which means maybe it's going to bring you to 6 figures or multi-6 figures, or maybe it means you're going to now be hosting live events or speaking on stages or writing a book, whatever the heck that is, you've got to start showing up as that person. Mistake a lot of people make is that they wait till they get there to start acting like that. And I'm saying to you, that's wrong. Start acting today. Start acting today like that person that you want to be. Who do you need to be to make that happen? How do you need to show up? Who do you need to talk to? What kind of actions do you need to take? But start being that person today, because otherwise you're not going to be aligned, and it's going to be very hard that even if you have that thing, whatever that thing is, you won't, it'll be like that slippery slope. It'll be very hard for you to hang on to because you're not going to feel aligned or comfortable with it. That's why so many people, in the diet industry, some people lose weight and they put it right back on because they don't start seeing themselves as that thinner, sexier, shaped and toned person. That's why lottery tickets, and lottery ticket winners end up losing it in a year or two because, again, they don't see themselves as that multimillionaire, so that they have to go back to where they're comfortable. So that's why it's so important to start really focusing in on who is that person, that I need to be to show up to have this happen. Okay, so is this making sense? I've just given 3 really, really powerful keys that you need, to get to that next level in 2018. So I'm just going to see if anyone has any notes. Yep, Stephanie, yep, exactly. And this is really, really, really critical, these 3 things. So if you're joining us late, the 3 things you've got to have in place, these 3 keys, if you want to be successful with getting to that next level, is you've got to have your foundation in place. Oh, you're welcome, Stephanie. And feel free if you want to share what your thing is that you're thinking of for this upcoming year. So the first one is you've got to have the foundation in place, right? Because if you start to build on, and you don't have that strong foundation in place. And by foundation, I mean your regular business routines that bring in that consistent income for you, whatever that might be, depending on the type of business, whether it's your social media structure, whether it's your newsletters, podcasts, your networking that you go to, speaking gigs, whatever the heck you do, you've got to have that going like a system on a regular basis, right? That's got to be, so that's the first thing you got to have before you go thinking about moving to that next level. Number two is you got to make sure whatever these things are, that they're aligned with your overall vision, because otherwise, we all know that getting out of your comfort zone is hard enough anyways, that if you've got things that are not lined up with your core vision, you're going to have more blocks, more obstacles, more negative fears, doubts, beliefs pop up. They're going to keep you stuck, right? So it's going to be like you kind of trying to go like that and bounce through, and that's going to keep you stuck. So that's the second thing. The third is you've got to make sure that you start acting like that person who's at that level, right? Don't wait till you get there. Then you've waited too long. So let me just see, does anyone have any questions, or anybody want to share kind of what they're really hoping on taking on in 2018? And if anybody does have to dash off, I just want to say to you that, first of all, almost happy 2018, happy Hanukkah for those who celebrate, happy holidays to those who will be celebrating in another week or two. And if I can be of service to you, if you're at that point that you're looking for mentorship, please email my team, info@katebeaters.com. That's info@katebeaters.com, and let's set up a time to talk and see if I'm the right mentor for you. So let me just see if there's any questions, comments, anything about what I've been sharing. Give it a second or two. I'm going to have a sip of water here. And I'm waiting just if there are any questions. This is my mug from Costa Rica. I was kind of annoyed. I bought two, only one survived on the flight home. But I did my retreat there last year, and so I got a very cool mug. And I don't know if you guys can see there. Here, it says it in Spanish too. It says, "Fly as high as you can." And then in Spanish, there's the other side, so you can see. Whoop, there we go. That's a little easier to see it. And I just love this because it's a constant reminder that that's what it's all about, showing up in your brilliance. And that's how I love helping the people I work with to really get to that next level. So if you're joining us late, go back and listen to the beginning of this because I shared some really good examples of people who've either done it right or done it wrong. And I think it's important to watch that. And also too, like I said, if anyone has any questions, please let us know. And again, if you're looking to make 2018 rock, please email my team, info@katebeaters.com. So if you would please share this, if you got something out of it, which hopefully you did, please share this with your community, because there's no reason why all of us can't have a really, really amazing, wonderful, and powerful year. Right? That's what I want for everybody. So let's see, I don't see any questions right now, so I'm going to go take off and enjoy the rest of my weekend. And I want to just wish everyone a happy Saturday night. So bye, everybody. Until we meet, be brilliant.